The President Cyril Ramaphosa will today lead a delegation on the oversight visit to the Emfuleni Local Municipality in Gauteng to assess progress made in delivery of basic services. The municipality has been struggling to deliver services such as water and sanitation. This has led to the Water and Sanitation Department intervening in upgrading critical bulk pipelines and pump station infrastructure. Let's now go live to the Emfuleni Municipality where the Minister of Water and Sanitation is addressing the media.
We asked them to go and brief cabinet in terms of progress we've made overall here, and they did. And I think President is making follow-up to want to see whether what was reported in the cabinet room is indeed happening on the ground. And therefore we're here. I think it's the biggest wastewater plant in the Val.
Yes, in the Val. Yes.
Yeah, in the Val, quite big, and therefore we are making progress on a very big wastewater works here.
Minister, Stephen from Gauteng. So we've been speaking to residents in different parts of Emfuleni, and they've been complaining basically about water being the main issue, sanitation as well. When you drive around different streets, you still find sewer just flowing across the streets. How do you respond to residents who are still worried about the situation?
When you start doing a job like this one, fixing plants like these ones, because this is not the only one. This is one of the four. And then you have pump stations, a number of them all over. And then you have sewer lines. You start somewhere and you can point that we have done the job there. We have done the job there. We who are in this thing inside, we see there's progress. But somebody whom we have not reached yet will not even see what we have done until we do work where he or she stays. So we agree with them. What you have seen, what they are complaining about is correct. We know it. But we will get there. If you had been lucky enough to go where we have been, where we have done the job, they would have told you the different story. They would have told you how happy they are. How relieved they are. Some of them even telling you that we are breathing better now. They said so when I visited this area where we're removing sewer in the residential areas. And so those who are saying so are correct, but we're getting there in no time.
Mr. Amanda Kwaza from the Sunday Times. Can you please give us examples of this progress that you are talking about? Like, what is it? It's not the first time that the government is coming here. You're here again. Can you tell us what this progress is?
Okay, Sipo will tell you the details. But the first time when we appointed them, I took a tour around here, visiting pump stations, because you cannot say you are cleaning up sewer in residential areas and the spillings and so on if you don't know, if you don't do your pump stations. So we went to put pump stations like pump station 2, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Now I went there for the first time. I never saw whether I really was in a pump station, because there was nothing resembling a pump station. But when I went there, round number 2, after they reported progress, I could see that there's progress. I would see a guard house, I would see guards inside, I would see a fence, I would see processes and jobs that was, all these pump stations that I'm talking about, they are done, completed, commissioned, but they will tell you details. 2, there was unblocking because most of the pipes were blocked all over. So they had to bring in big machines and block. At one stage, I came here just to see unblocking. But the third thing is I've gone to wastewater works like this one, Leukale and so on, Rothdin. Rothdin is done, I think, because when we went there, it was almost, we were with the mayor there, Mayor of Midval. He was the one who was saying, hey, I'm so impressed with the work that is. But Sebokeng can tell you the detail. Now you hear the dog barking there. It's hungry for intruders, for the so-called vandals. If we had one vandal, we could have taken him there or her there to demonstrate what these dogs would do to the vandal. There's no place for vandals now, this one, because we're here, we are working. But even Vereeniging itself, at one point I came there at 6:30 in the morning, just to see whether we're really working and we're making progress. They will show you pictures. It was horrible at the center of the town, Vereeniging. The next time we came, we went there to see nothing sealed, everything fixed. And next to that, there was a house of one house which was under siege. Sewer all over, front, back, sides. We went there. By the way, I must tell you that to see progress, I called them to give me progress. They gave us progress for about 45 minutes, just reporting progress. Then I said, okay, we're at the end now. I want to go and see. I carried that book, which was the presentation, and we started at 7:30 in the morning. We could only finish at 4:30 in the evening. But we had not completed everything, because in Sebokeng and other areas, in other townships, what you see there are about 24 contractors who are replacing pipes, who are digging, who are putting new pipes, who are doing all sorts of things. So there's work here, but C can tell you exactly or add into that, because you want to know exactly what is that we call progress.
Yes, I think physically in terms of progress, what you can do now in Vereeniging, we had a sewer coming out of people's homes. It was as a result of the line that the minister was talking about that we fixed in Union Street. The project is completed, so in effect, as the minister indicates, the Leokale catchment and its pump stations are sorted, and the people of Vereeniging are seeing a tangible benefit. We haven't had any of the sewer coming out of people's homes, so Leokale is done. So what we did, we took the whole area and broke it down into catchments. So the local catchment is the one that deals with most pump stations taking sewer into a local wastewater treatment works. There's a risk-rate catchment, and we're busy with it. The minister went to see all the collapsed lines that we are replacing from Section 63 intervention. So that is work in progress. If we go on site now, you'll see contractors replacing those pipes. We are also inside risk-rate. We're doing repairs of mechanical and electrical works inside the plant. In here, what the president is going to be seeing, obviously, is the 50 megalitres through Section 63 and the work that we do with Emfuleni that we have added and finished. But the president is going to see the repairs and maintenance of electrical, mechanical infrastructure that we are doing on Module 3, 4, and 5. So, as the minister is saying, we had to start somewhere. We started in local catchment, now we're busy in other catchment. And as you correctly say, in Mayerton, we have upgraded, that pump station is done, the rising main is done. We are going inside the Mayerton wastewater treatment works to increase capacity. So yes, there is tangible progress, there is physical progress that you can go and see independently from us. Minister, when we went to the actual houses in Vereeniging that had a problem, the media was there. Those that came, they saw, and then they interviewed Nkhono themselves in terms of the progress that has been made. Similarly in the collapse lines.
Yeah, just to add a bit, one of the mandates for us was to capacitate Metsi Alekwa, which is an entity of Emfuleni Municipality. We have capacitated them, bought cars, bought tools of trade, which were handed over to them on the 31st of August this year. So that's progress that is tangible. Thank you.
Minister, there's a question this
And then we'll see them inside.
Minister, Samkele from the SABC. Minister, it's not, as my other colleagues have said, it's not the first time that government officials are here. The president was here for the Imbizo. The deputy president of the country, Paul Mashatile, was here. 2020, David Mabuza, then deputy president, was at this very same plant and engaged with the community of Palm Springs and Sebokeng. Yeah. It's 8 months or so before the elections. People are still experiencing bad governance in this municipality. We are not only here because of the water treatment, we are also here because of the district development model of governance. What can you assure the residences of Sebokeng that is going to change henceforth going forward? That they will get good, proper governance, not only from rainwater, which is clean water, but also from the municipality at large, going to roads, infrastructure.
Yes.
There were potholes here coming in as well.
First, let me tell you that at no stage in the past have we reached this level of cleaning up sewer and fixing infrastructure, wastewater infrastructure and or sanitation infrastructure and water infrastructure. It's the first time we reached this level, attested to by a verification if you go there. But let me come to this. Yesterday we had a meeting. There was a meeting, first of its kind, convened by the special advisor, our special advisor, Advocate Piccoli, bringing in rainwater, Emfuleni, provincial government, and stakeholders here, bringing them on work to make sure that whatever has been achieved, all the progress, cannot be reversed, but can only be taken up. What we're looking at is the model we've been speaking about, saying possibly Emfuleni has no capacity in the foreseeable future of taking off from where rainwater would have left. We're talking about a number of pump stations that have been fixed, commissioned. But if we look at rainwater and their capacity, there is nothing tangible that will say they are going to be able to O&M that is operate and maintain that. In order for us to prevent reversing, we are saying Emfuleni, which is a water service authority, must appoint a water and sanitation service provider under them that will do the job of water and sanitation services for the people of Emfuleni at the required quality and at the required level. Now they are seeking to appoint rainwater to do that job as a service provider to them instead of them doing it themselves, because they have no capacity. I have seen that with my eyes. They are trying to catch up and so on, but it's not really doable in the foreseeable future. So that's a guarantor. This report will come to us on the 15th of November to say agreed, and we are sure that they will. And the Premier is here. We have discussed with him to say we want to help Gauteng. We want to help in particular the people of this area. They say they want to build a city of world-class city here and everything. They are prevented by sewer. We're going to remove everything and then see whether the city will come up providing jobs and all. I'm not a Gauteng government. They can speak for themselves, but we are laying the ground and the foundation for them. What is coming up here is beautiful. I can tell you, they will breathe.
But Minister, the very same rainwater that is failing to provide water provision to Johannesburg, to residents in Midrand, to residents in Northcliffe, how can you be satisfied that they will be able to provide water to Emfuleni?
It is news to me that Johannesburg water, that rainwater is failing. Yeah. That's not what is happening now. What is happening now on a daily basis, there's a technical committee that is meeting on a daily basis. All I'm hearing is success. I haven't heard any failure. If there is failure, it would be a pipe here and there bursting and so on. It would be power failure lasting for 4 hours, more than 4 hours, preventing us from pumping, like it happened in the beginning of September. And those things, they do happen. But on a daily basis, on an hourly, on a secondly basis, if there's something like that, these people are pumping water from the valve and they're giving it to municipalities. There are weaknesses here and there. We've discussed, we're working very, very, very close to each other. I meet mayors frequently. We are all making progress as the water sector. If you see problems here and there, it will be like your car. You will drive your car. You will experience a puncture on one of your tires. No, your wife will not say what a failing husband just because of that puncture tire. So we're not. There's no failure at all. We're making progress, but we have said to Johannesburg and other municipalities here, please manage water demand, because people tend to use more water then is really affordable and is really required for them. Of course, we can't pump the whole of the Vaal River at once to Johannesburg or to Ekurhuleni. But all these people that you are talking about, they have water, but they will experience problems here and there. So Rand Water is not failing. Rand Water is succeeding. These municipalities are not failing. They are succeeding, but experience problems here and there, which we are fixing.
Maybe just to add, Minister, Rand Water in terms of numbers, we used to produce 5,000 megaliters a day. On the 31st of August, we added 150 million liters a day into the system. So you can't then say Rand Water is failing. The challenge that we have, of course, is a challenge that some of that water disappears in municipal infrastructure, which is why we are not saying Rand Water is not guilty, but we are saying let's work with municipalities, help them to also revitalize their infrastructure. That is why the minister is talking about us being service providers for Emfuleni, because we want to assist Emfuleni to deal with their infrastructure challenges. So we are not failing. We have enough water, and that water, the 150 megaliters, was actually planned for 2030. But we already brought them in. We're bringing in another 450. Beyond that, we'll be bringing in 600 million liters a day by 2030. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you. Maybe we'll allow the
Oi. Eta. Lesham. Solferi is the minister.
Yes. Premier, just the essence of Emfuleni. Emfuleni is arguably what shows the bad governance of this administration that you are leading and this local municipality here. As the Premier of Gauteng, how are you happy with the turnaround performance that you are seeing in this municipality of Emfuleni?
Let me start by thanking you for coming, and also appreciate the decision taken by our president to come and do oversight of the work that we've been doing in the last 2 years or so, both with the Minister of Water and Sanitation, with the municipality, but also with state institutions like Rand Water and Eskom. Indeed, this municipality has been going through difficulties. Some of their difficulties were not out of their own making, but some of the difficulties were influenced by the economic situation that we find ourselves, not as a province, but as a country as a whole. And therefore, the intervention of all the teams was very helpful to say, let's not have one intervention. Let's have an intergovernmental intervention through the DDM model, so that we can be in a position to bring all institutions of government to intervene. And today, we want to showcase progress. We can lament about the failure of the municipality. We can lament about the history of non-performance of this municipality. But today we want to showcase how far we are, just to take this municipality out of the deep situation that they've found themselves in. We've intervened with Eskom, we're intervening with Rand Water, we'll be intervening on service delivery. The provincial government is intervening on providing energy supply, especially replacement of transformers, and the kind of support that this municipality would sustain. So a good story is developing out of Emfuleni. Indeed, we started on a lower base, but we're accelerating and cruising appropriately. But we must manage that acceleration so that it does not collapse, it doesn't crash. We are very, very delicate in ensuring that we balance all the interventions that have been given to us. And we're quite excited that the President's visit today will at least elevate, and we can be in a position to account to the President saying, the last time we came here, we were here. Now that we are here, you can see progress. And I'm glad that the support from other ministers and ministries is here today, and that will be in a position to strengthen the intergovernment relations.
Premier Stephen from Cape Net, how would you describe the situation in Emfuleni service delivery as a whole? Because we've been talking to various residents in different parts of the municipality, and they've been complaining about potholes, bad roads, sewer, electricity, water. Yes, you mentioned that there are talks ongoing with all the relevant stakeholders. But how would you describe the situation? Are you happy?
We've got 11 municipalities in Gauteng. 10 of the municipalities are going through difficulties. All of them. You can mention Swan in the same breath. You can mention Ekurhuleni, you can mention Johannesburg, you can mention Mogale. all our municipalities. I think there is an urgent need for us to review the funding model of municipalities. There's urgent need as well to manage how people who are not paying for services should be cushioned and be supported by government. And there is an urgent need of ensuring that businesses that are not doing business in a manner that affect that strengthen municipalities, how do we intervene and give them? But primarily is a debt management. These municipalities are trapped in debt, and it's a debt within state institution. They owe ESCOM as a state institution. They owe Rand Water as a state institution. They are owed by government departments who are state institutions. So the debt management aspect is something that needs to be managed and rechanged. And that is why this intervention of all of us is very important. I think it will be unfair. They might have their own problem as a municipality, but it will be unfair to pull them out alone and say this is the municipality that is not supported. But we are intervening as government to demonstrate that when we have all government departments assigned to one municipality, giving that municipality support, it might assist us to salvage the situation and assist them. We don't have a role in providing roads in municipalities, but they will tell you, as a provincial government alone, we're investing in 40 new roads in this area to say roads are the backbone of any economic development and community development. So if you fix roads, you will be in a position to sort out things. But you can't fix roads that have sewer flowing and other things. So you have to come back and deal with the basics. And the ministry and the team here are demonstrating that we are fixing the water challenges, we are fixing the sewer challenges, and on the basis of that, we'll launch the process of ensuring that government can then, a new city is developed, a very beautiful city will develop in this area. It's just that trust deficit, they don't trust us anymore on the announcement that we made. So we just said, let's show you, and on the basis of what you have seen, you will believe that we are indeed on the right track. And the president visit today, it's that exercise to demonstrate that since the president came here and now, what are the changes that we have made, and we'll account to communities as well with those changes.
Colleagues? Okay, colleagues, we are told we need to...
how are you, colleagues? That was the Premier of the province, Premier Panyaza Lusufi, just speaking about the district development model. I'm just going to ask my colleague, Kwazi Manzi. Mr. Lusufi, the ANC says you must cut your working relationship with the PA and the EFF. It's going to be discussed in the officials and NWC on Monday. You are the one pushing to work with the EFF. Municipalities are going. What are you going to do?
I've never, as an individual, were pushed to work with any political party. I've been guided by the African National Congress, and if the African National Congress wants to bring this matter on the table, we'll be the first one to participate, contribute, take other ideas of people, and a common decision will be taken that will be announced by the leadership of the ANC. But to individualize that this particular individual prefers this aspect is not true. We contributed to the coalition discussion on the basis of the mandate that were given by the ANC to go and negotiate the coalition. And we really believe the coalition arrangement that we had in Gauteng at least stabilized municipalities in our province. Do you think that the SABC's finances are in a good order?
I'm not in authority at the SABC. I'm just a foot soldier.
Let's hope one day they will be in good order, my brother.
Maybe I'll be the CEO one day. Who knows?
That's it. Who knows?
So Monday, are you ready to pack your bags and leave municipalities if the ANC says cut that relationship with the Red Berets?
Let's wish Oliver Tambo 106th happy birthday today. That's the person that made me and you to be where we are, so that we can deal with the camera that is there. Just say, woi, woi.
That is Panyaza Lusufi, who is... let me just grab the chairperson of Salga, Mr. Chongizizwe Tlhabati. Mr. Tlhabati, just looking at the state of Emfuleni, the state of governance throughout the province, 10 out of the 11 municipalities are facing difficulties. At Salga, how are you intervening to making sure that these municipalities are profitable, knowing also that you are a councillor in Ekurhuleni and chief whip?
Sure. As Salga, we have expressed ourselves that there should be some collaboration that seeks to make sure that there's a sustainable provision of services. Amongst others is water, sanitation and electricity. The fact of the matter is that the state of the local government is constrained, and we are quite aware of the challenges that are facing Emfuleni. Hence, we have consistently called for national and provincial government to intervene in making sure that we turn the tide around. We are quite excited that today at least the president will come to this place and be given an update on the extent of work which has been done to deal with the issue of sanitation. As you may be aware that the area is troubled by spillages of sewer. So we're quite excited that at least there is a rehabilitation of this sewer system and that at least there will be progress insofar as sewer is concerned.
But Mr. Labat, this is not the first time that government officials have come to this storage plant. I remember in 2020, I once came here with the then Deputy President David Dabete Mabuza, Deputy President Paul Mashatile. Just recently, after being sworn in as Deputy President of the country, he undertook a working visit here to Emfuleni. The President was here on the Imbizo, provincial Imbizo that he had here in Gauteng, came to this specific municipality. Emfuleni, and in particular Sebokeng, has been failing year in and year out. What will finally give for there to be a turnaround?
Well, what we are seeing today is the DDM at play, is the collaboration between national, provincial and local government. So we're not here today to look at the challenge. In fact, the President is going to be briefed about the progress that has been made to enhance the plant as part of responding to the sewer spillages. So we're not here to look at the challenge. We are here to evidence a collaborative working relationship that progressively seeks to address the challenges that are faced by communities.
You are one of those who were pushing to put on your political hat as the coordinator of the ANC in Ekurhuleni, who were pushing for the ANC to cut its ties with the EFF. There is a proposal on the table which is led by David Makura now, which goes to the National Coalition Task Team, ultimately to the officials on Monday, and also to the NWC to say cut the working relationship with the EFF. What's your standpoint?
Well, let's wait for the ANC processes to unfold. We'll be guided by the decision of the movement. We are a unitary structure, so at this point in time, now that we appreciate that there is that discussion, we can't really preempt what should happen.
Do you feel vindicated?
To some extent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tongi Zizwe Ntlabati. Thank you. That the Minister of Culture now will say a few words as I ask my colleague Kwazimanzi just to move across. Our shots may be a bit shaky. As you can see, Ms. Tembi Nkadimeng there, who's going to be speaking about the district development model, who is a champion of this particular issue. And just to speak about the issues pertaining to the issues of the district development model. If you can just look across there on the other end of this sewage water plant here, you can also see that there is an informal settlement there that is also experiencing challenges of water and sanitation. As you can still see that there is no proper sewage running or sewage system running in that particular informal settlement across this sewage plant that government will ultimately be unveiling through the district development model here, as we also anticipate and await for the arrival of the president, who has been saying that the district development model, which he has been pushing on his visit on the presidential Imbizo, which was held here in this specific municipality of Emfuleni earlier on this year, has been saying that these collaborative governance procedures of government must work together in order to alleviate the problems and the challenges that these municipalities are facing. At some point in 2018, when Ms. Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula was still the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans within the country, the SANDF was deployed here in Emfuleni to sort out the backlog and the blockages that were there in the sewage system within the country. Minister, Water and Sanitation, Collaborative Governance, District Development Model, Emfuleni, a showcase of the worst of governance when it comes to the administration. Is there any positives that you can take out of this crumbling municipality?
Good morning and thank you very much. The reason why we're here is because we're showcasing that DDM is working. This is our first, and we chose the hardest, if you will know, in the history of the administration, accountability challenges that the municipality has been facing, collaboration. Currently, the municipality's account is attached. They do not even have funds relatively to run quite a number of their business elements. Section 63 of the Water Act allows us to, through cooperative governance and the IGR framework, to pull intervention from a national, provincial level to roll out into the municipality. We've actually also are scheduling Schedule 6B, which is a turning of a direct grant into an indirect grant to allow us ourselves through MISA. We've already placed technicians who are working together with the Department of Water and Sanitation. So this is not the only collaboration of intervention that we'll be doing. You may see there's Minister Chikunga in our midst as well, because we're going to apply the same model into the roads. So currently today we are on the water and sanitation. Rand Water has been appointed by the department to implement, but we'll be seeing the portion of MIC as well that we should be running into the reticulation. Who are we going to utilize as COCTA to be able to assist the municipality? So this is what will be happening. We're taking the president to Machabeng Welcome on the 7th to, yes, do a DDM in Bizo, but the collaboration element of the municipalities to showcase the Department of Water and Sanitation is in the municipality as well. Sebokeng mine, from a private point of partnership, is on the mine to do their wastewater treatment plan. So our language is, we will turn the situation through it all. That's why we're here.
Minister, saying you will turn the situation through it all, I just want you to look at the back there. That informal settlement, no proper water and sanitation systems. They are still using what we will say an inadequate sanitation system that they have there. When you look at that state of poverty, inequality and underdevelopment, what does it say to you as a Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, knowing that the very same people who vote you into power, into office, are still staying in total squalor?
And that's the reason why we're here. We may be in a water project, but holistically, we have got a municipal support improvement plan of Emfuleni, which encompasses all the activities. Remember, when your account is attached, amongst other things, due to you being unable to pay for your service providers, it means all your systems and your services and your responsibility ceases to exist. So we have human settlement, which is also part of the formalizing of this informal settlement and the rolling out of infrastructure. The provincial plan, you will see the Premier will be here. They have a provincial plan on how to turn around Emfuleni together with us. But we also have to appreciate there have been many interventions here, but we are bringing you for the first time to showcase a point of delivery that has happened in ensuring that we are moving towards the right direction.
But do you see the irony where in a water treatment plant just next door, there's no proper ablution systems, no proper water and sanitation?
But this is a treatment plant that is now working and has not been working for years. So which means there's hope for them. They will be rolling out to get sure that this infrastructure we are rolling back is able to provide water into the community of Emfuleni.
Before the president arrives, can you just whisper to me, the ANC says you must cut working with the EFF. What's your view? That is the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs there, who is running away from that particular question. She also sits in the governing party's National Coalition Task Team and is leading that particular debate on coalitions. The President of the Republic, Aldrin, will be arriving shortly. We are told that his vehicles are within the vicinity of this water treatment plant. In fact, his vehicles are pulling up now, and he will be disembarking shortly from his vehicles once they park. He is here to inspect the work being done in this municipality of Emfuleni on the district development model. He was here earlier on where our colleagues Natasha Piri and Busi Chumomba did cover his presidential imbizo, looking at service delivery and the challenges faced by the people of Emfuleni. Later on today, he will be at the Vereeniging City Hall engaging with the Ratepayers Association of Emfuleni, Civil Society of Emfuleni, to speak to some of the issues that this specific municipality of Emfuleni, of Sebokeng district municipality, that they are facing. Later on in the evening, he will then be jetting off to France, where he will be going to support the Springboks in their match against New Zealand in the World Cup final, and he may also have a bilateral meeting with President Emmanuel Macron of France upon his arrival in France tomorrow morning or later this evening. But today he is here on official government business on the district development model, looking at issues of trying to salvage the situation of bad and poor governance in the municipality of Sebokeng district municipality, and also in particular Emfuleni, which has been faced with a number of challenges. As you can see him there coming out of his particular vehicle to greet the Premier of the province, Panyaza Lusufi, and also the Salga chairperson, Mr. Jongizizwe Nhlabati, who is also the chief whip of Emfuleni Municipality. He will be going to inspect this particular water treatment plant, which will be what government will use to showcase what they are doing to turn around the situation here. As Panyaza Lusufi, the premier, also said that they aspire to build a new smart city in this area. One wonders what happened to the Lansera Smart City project that the president once spoke about in his State of the Nation address. You can also see Minister Sindisiwe Chukunga, the Minister of Transport. It can also tell you that this gives you some of the issues that this particular area and district municipality is facing within the country. They are failing to provide water and sanitation. There is issues of potholes. There is sewage running all over the streets of townships such as Palm Springs, Sebokeng, Sharpeville, which is some of the areas that President Ramaphosa seeks to address some of the challenges of this municipality. Aldrin.
Well, Samkele, thank you so much for that. With that coverage of the president there arriving at Emfuleni, which has been an ongoing problem, as you heard there with Samkele speaking to the various ministers, as well as representatives from Salga. And actually, if you look at some of the research around this particular story, it dates back to even pre-2008, where court orders had been sought by the Save the Val environment against the Emfuleni municipality to ensure that they actually deal with this issue of a sewage spillage into the water treatment area in Emfuleni. And how many years later, and we're still dealing with the same problem of Emfuleni, but the minister there of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Tembeng Kadimeng, believing that they are making some strides through the district development model. There she is with the president of the country, as the president comes for an oversight to see how much work has been done since the last visit to the area, to ensure, of course, that they live up to the promises that have been made. And as Samkele has been pointing out, these promises aren't new. These promises have been made before. But when will the people of Emfuleni really have a clean water? When will the people of Emfuleni also make sure, while the government of Emfuleni make sure that when it comes to sanitation, that the people of Emfuleni also have a proper sanitation? A big story also, of course, is around the so-called let me just quickly see if we can get back to Samkele Maseko there as he speaks to the president. Okay, seems like he's handed back the mic there to the camera person. Not too sure whether the president will agree to speak to him. Let's see if we can hear anything. Okay, not speaking to the president there, but we'll go back to Samkele Maseko a bit later on. The president there in Emfuleni, but later on he will be jetting off to France.